Hey, what's up, guys? Alex here. I hope you all are doing well. And I'm going to be bringing you guys a different type of video for today. We are on my laptop, as you can see. This is where I get all my stuff done, editing videos, uploading them to YouTube, as well as getting schoolwork done and responding to your comments. But I've been thinking for a while, or actually for months, I've been toying with this idea of creating fantasy transit maps, and I think I have one that you guys might be impressed with. So we're gonna go to Google Chrome and show you guys this. And yeah, it's finally complete for like I said for months. Even though this only takes like not even long to complete. I've just been like revising this map on and off because I just wanted to see which corridors would be best suited for rapid transit. Now, the websites I use this, the website I use to create this map is called metromapmaker.com, and it has like various like transit maps made by people that you could view and also remix. So I decided to remix a template showing what the system could look like by the 2030s. But for me, I decided to extend some lines, create new lines, mostly bus rapid transit lines. We'll get to that in a bit. But I've been thinking. Um, I've been a huge fan of transit planning and urban planning for many years, and I've applied my knowledge of them in many of my walking videos and some transit videos as well. But the 2020s have been particularly challenging for transit in Toronto, where it just takes so long to get things built. But it's just there's still a lot happening, right? They're building more LRT lines, I guess, bus rapid transit infrastructure. Well, at least when it comes to rapid TO, we'll get into that as we go over this map. But yeah, I just want to show you guys what I would build, what I would build in Toronto, and this only goes for subway, light rail, and bus rapid transit. So hopefully, this vision would be like a real thing in the next 20 years from now. So we're gonna go by line here. Let me just activate the grid here. There we go. And let me also hide these if I can find a way to do that. Okay, so let's start with line one, which is of course the Young University subway line. Um, so line one, of course, currently runs from Finch Station all the way to Vaughan Metropolitan Center, and of course they're about to work on the Young North extension all the way to Richmond Hill. But only one small addition I decided to add was to extend the western side of Line 1 two stops north to Vaughan Mills, and there would be a station at Langstaff Road serving an employment area, and then, of course, Vaughan Mills Shopping Mall. Now, despite its proximity to Canada's Wonderland, I decided not to extend that line there because Canada's Wonderland operates seasonally, and it doesn't really make sense to not have a station that's to have a station that's not open year round, and it's going to be very costly to maintain. But I like the idea of a line one extension to Vaughan Mills. That wouldn't be that bad of an idea. And also, people have been coming to me in the comments about proposing their ideas to improve buses and frequency and adding new BRT infrastructure. So that's kind of how I got this idea, and the fact that for months I have been toying around with creating a fantasy transit map. So that's line one. Line two, being the Bloor Danforth subway, is also just one simple addition, and that is extending its western terminus at Kipling Station all the way to Sherway Gardens. Now, Sherway Gardens itself, it's a major shopping mall, but it's not too far from Kipling subway station, but it's a 20 to 25-minute bus ride. And the 123 Sherway bus is awfully confusing. They need to like restructure that route, or at least have its branches become separate routes, because it's confusing to people. But yeah, line 2 should definitely be extended to Sherway, and it can even attract bus connections to Mississauga. Well, even more of them, even though for that you got Kipling Station, of course. So that's line 2. And of course, for the eastern end of line 2, that's under construction. We all know how that's going to play out. And now line 3, which is the Ontario line. By the way, here's the legend of all the lines here. So line 3 is of course reused from the now defunct Scarborough RT line, and of course the line would run between Exhibition, cutting through downtown, and having important stops at East Harbor, Riverside, Gerrard, East York, at Thorncliffe Park, and then Flemington Park. And its northern terminus would be at Don Valley, connecting with the Line 5 LRT. And I would extend Line 3 three stops up to Don Mills Station to connect with Line 4, the Shepherd subway. And I would have Donway Station at Don Mills and Lawrence Avenue, steps away from the shops at Don Mills. And then at York Mills Road, we would have York Mills East. And then, of course, connecting Line 4 at Don Mills Station. And even though Metrolinx is promoting the Ontario line as a subway, in reality, it's a light metro line because it is using lighter rolling stock. The technology is a little bit different. Think of it like the Montreal REM, right? The REM is an automated driverless system. The Ontario line is going to be very, very similar to that. Which, by the way, I hear the REM is kind of delayed. One branch is opening up in November, the other next year. I was really hoping to go next month, but I am changing my plans. So hopefully next year I'll go to Montreal. And then line 4, the Shepherd Subway, which currently, as you know, is a 5 stop subway. If you want to know what that term means, just look it up. It's a long story. But yeah, Line 4 is underrated, but it definitely needs to show some love. And if the city or government, if the city wasn't being so political about Line 4, we would have it extended to Scarborough Center. Like by now, that was originally planned like over 25 years ago. But they decided to build it as far as Donald's Road, which is, I still think it's the biggest load of bullshit. So uh there are plans to extend Line 4, but it's not going to happen within the next 20 to 30 years. It's going to be a freaking while until that sort of thing comes to fruition. But yeah, I would totally extend Line 4 all the way to only as far as McCowan to meet with the Line 2 Eastern Extension, as well as new BRT style lines, which we'll get to in just a few moments. And then I would extend Line 4 westward to the other side of Line 1 at Shepherd West Station. There would only be one station in between, Bathurst North. And of course, the Line 4 extension would ease the pressure on the already busy 85 Shepherd East buses, especially the 904, which runs along Shepherd and then to Scarborough Center and then Kennedy Station. But the 985 only runs during peak hours. It's the Shepherd East Express, and there has to be improvement in that. And of course, we'll talk about the Shepherd East VRT in a few moments. So that's line 4. Line 5, very, very simple. I'm extending it one stop to Pearson Airport because Pearson does not have a rapid transit connection as yet, but it definitely needs to have one. So Line 5 is currently being extended to Renfrew Station. Now, that's close to Pearson Airport, and they're currently studying a connection, and it definitely should be built. So, um, most of the transit connections are at Terminal 1, where you can connect to the Up Express train, as well as TTC local and express buses, Brampton transit buses, and Mississauga buses as well. and they're still studying like a Pearson transit hub to connect with those said buses, LRT, and Go commuter trains as well. So that's a pretty good idea. Line 6 is unchanged. We are not doing anything to that at all. Although people have talked about extending Line 6 all the way to Yonge Street, I I strongly oppose that. I don't think a Finch Avenue between Kiel and Yonge is suitable for an LRT. I think buses are better suited. And also extending Line 6 west or actually southward to Pearson Airport. I also don't like that idea as well. It's going to be much slower than express buses, which already will take its place anyway. So we'll see how that goes. All right, moving on to the BRT infrastructure. So Toronto doesn't have BRT infrastructure as of yet, or kinda it does, if we count the rapid TO lanes, which are already installed on Eglinton Avenue East, Kingston Road, Morningside Avenue, and then Kennedy Road, Midland Avenue, Ellesmere Road for the Line 3 replacement buses. And later this year, they will be implementing new bus lanes on Jane Street, Dufferin Street, and Bathurst Street, which I don't have it included because nobody's ever talked about Bathurst. But the only reason why they're doing this is to have it ready for the FIFA World Cup next year. So that I totally get. But Jane and Dufferin, they needed the most because they serve so many people every day, and people have often complained about buses getting stuck in traffic and the fact that the express buses don't respectively run all the time. So getting back to this, I want to take inspiration from Vancouver where they have their own express bus network called the Rapid Bus. Now, unfortunately, I didn't ride the Rapid Bus when I was in Vancouver last month, but it looks really really cool. And I think these Rapid Bus lines or BRT lines, whatever you want to call them, they should mimic subway service, which would start at 5:30 a.m. and lasting till 2 a.m. Because several corridors definitely need improvements and not all of them see frequent bus service, especially like at other times of the day, midday, off-peak hours, and late nights. So I would fix that. So let's start with Line 7, which is the Eglinton East BRT. Now, the City of Toronto is currently proposing the Eglinton East LRT, which I absolutely strongly dislike. In fact, I'm going to make a separate video reacting to why I don't think an LRT should be built along Eglinton Avenue East. So currently we have the 905 Eglinton East Express. By the way, notice for the BRT lines, there's no stops in between. Just you guys could get like a little idea, and plus they would follow similar routes instead. So Line 7 currently follows the 905 Eglinton East Express bus, which runs between Kennedy Station and U of T Scarborough, running on pretty much serving the Rapid TO bus lanes, which have been in place for nearly 5 years now. And for this Rapid bus network, it would be very similar to Vancouver's. There would be like useful stop amenities, ticket vending machines, maps. Make it like a rapid, a bus rapid transit style thing, like similar to what Viva has in York Region. Some of them would have like their own BRT style lanes with stops in between. Some of them wins, and they would have uh, just um, just curbside stops instead. I'm fine with either way, but yeah, definitely would serve the neighborhoods of West Hill and Highland Creek, and definitely UTSC as well, which is where I go to. So, because all the time I use the 905, the buses take, well, they're frequent, but it's a bit of a long ride. Average 30 minutes at best. So, yeah, that's definitely an improvement if we were to have BRT service instead of LRT. And honestly, yeah, buses are well more suitable for this corridor. LRT would be very slow, and I do not like the amount of stops it has. And the fact that this Eglinton East LRT would go all the way on Shepherd, which we'll get to next. So now we have Line 8, the Shepherd East BRT. Now, it's honestly more suitable to have a frequent BRT on just east of McCowan instead of extending line 4. It's way better for. I think it's way better and suitable for buses. But we would have the Shepherd East BRT going all the way to Morningside and then connecting with Line 7 at UTSC. And this would of course replace the other half of the Eglinton East LRT, and it would also have a little branch going to Malvern, which is a major neighborhood improvement area. The northeastern part of Toronto sees the longest commutes, right? Like right now, for example, if you live in Malvern, right, some people don't even have a car. Like it's difficult to get around without a car, so you have to rely on infrequent buses. Like for example, take the 131 Nugget or the 132. Sorry, not the 132, because oh yeah, the 132 doesn't go to Kennedy. It's the 131. So take that for example. It would be a 45 to 60-minute bus ride all the way to Kennedy Station. But also, if we had the Shepherd East BRT, there would be some transfer. Well, actually, only one transfer would be involved because this bus would only go to McCowan and Shepherd, where you can connect with the Line 2 subway, and then you could go all the way down. So I think I think that would really benefit the people of Northeast Toronto. It's like I said, I think is very beneficial, and again, people definitely deserve better transit in Scarborough. But again, I always have my criticisms of the government prioritizing car infrastructure over rapid transit, and that's been a huge problem in other parts of the GTA, especially Durham region and Peel region. So definitely has to be an improvement in that. And then line 9 would be another important corridor, the Jane BRT, which is currently being studied, and it would follow pretty much the 935 Jane Express bus. However, currently the 935 it runs every, like 7 days a week, but not at all times, though, right? Like on weekends, for example, it does not run past 7, and on weekdays, it does not run past 10. And it would definitely benefit people living in the Jane and Finch area, especially between like Steeles and Lawrence. The area has a huge racialized population, uh, as well as low income residents. So definitely a Jane rapid transit line would be suitable. Previously, they were going with an LRT, but also I don't like that idea. Bus lanes are better than anything than anything else. Essentially, I think they would be much faster than LRTs, even though Finch and Eglinton were definitely suited for one. So the Jane BRT would connect with the Finch West LRT, the Eglinton LRT, and of course the Line 2 subway. I forgot to mention the connections for the Shepherd East BRT, which would connect with the Lines 2 and 4 subway, as well as the Finch East BRT. But yeah, that's my plan for Jane. Hopefully, city councilors would listen to my ideas if it would ever a real thing. But well, it kind of will, but just with bus lanes and have like local and express buses use it. That's fine, but we need a long term solution. And then finally, Dufferin Street, because for years people haven't advocated for better buses, like frequency and faster service. Because no wonder why people call this the Suffering Dufferin bus, because it just something's not right. The 929 is useful at times, but when you're on the local counterpart, it's very slow as heck. So we got to fix that. So this entire route, well, even though they're implementing bus lanes between Eglinton Avenue and King Street, this would be a full-on like BRT line running between Wilson Station on line 1 and connecting with Fairbank Station on line 5, Dufferin Station on line 2, and then going all the way to Dufferin Gate, which is right by the exhibition, and it's also a short walk from Exhibition Station on line 3. So I'm really glad they're finally starting to implement the bus lanes, but obviously, definitely like I said, we definitely need a long term solution. So that's just my idea. And then line 11 would be the Steeles West BRT. Originally, I originally I wanted to go all the way east to McAllen, but I don't really see enough demand for that. But currently on this part of Steels, we have the 960 Steels West Expressway, which is often very busy and crowded. So, of course, that would having like a BRT line along Steels would ease the pressure, and it would simply run between Pioneer Village Station, connected with the Jane BRT and the Line One subway, as well as its close proximity to York University, and then going all the way to Yonge Street, having a stop at Steele's Station. So pretty straightforward. Almost at the end here. Line 12, Finch East. Like I said, there's no rapid transit in between Finch West and Finch Station. It's only better for just local buses. But I just realized the 939 Finch Express is the busiest express bus route in the city. So obviously it serves many people every day. So there definitely has to be one. So this new BRT would obviously follow part of the 939 running from, of course, Finch Station, which is already a very busy station, on line 1 and going all the way to McAllen and Shepherd to connect with lines 2, 4, 8, and other important connections. So yeah, looks like Scarborough is going to be getting the rapid transit it just really needs. So Finch East is definitely a good example for that. And finally, line 13, the Lawrence East BRT, because Lawrence East is also very busy, and the 954 Express only runs at peak hours. So here's what I would do. This line, oh crap, I forgot. Oh man, it looks like it's missing the. I'll have to fix it after, but Um, this new BRT line would connect with lines 3 and 5 at Don Valley Station, and then at Donway Station, again with the Ontario line, and then it would run all the way along Lawrence Avenue East, connecting with Lawrence East Subway Station, Line 2, Line 7 at Kingston Lawrence, and then Rouge Hill GO Station, all the way at the very, very eastern end of the city. And yeah, that's my this is my vision for what Toronto rapid transit could look like in the next 30 years. Let's hide the grid right here. Let's see. There we go. So yeah, this is my vision. This is what I would build in Toronto. Let me know in the comments about what you think about my map. And again, if you want to create your own, you can go to metromapmaker.com. You can find a template, and then you can just remix it. Like create whatever the hell you want. Add whatever lines you'd like to see. But this is absolutely gorgeous. I've also had another map here. Oh, not this one, but another map that I've made like 3 months ago, and then I just had to come back to the idea and just identifying the needs for service on different corridors. So this is honestly a very very good idea. So yeah, that's the future. Hopefully by 2050 we could see all of this happen, or even like I'm probably gonna be very old by then. But Toronto's the largest city in the country, and it still has its issues of transportation and mobility, and it needs way faster and better rapid transit. So um, yeah. So again, 13 lines, six of them being subway and LRT, as well as providing extensions to them, and then the rest being BRTs. I know you guys got to criticize me. Oh, why didn't you add more subway or LRT lines? Well, this really depends on the corridor. It just depends. But I really like what I have here, and again, this all reflects my opinions and stuff. Again, feel free to disagree with this map, or feel free to disagree with my comments. It's totally fine. But whatever opinions you have in the comments, I would definitely respect them for sure. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think. And thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I gotta go down for the laundry in less than half an hour, and then I gotta get ready for school, and maybe I'll watch a little bit of Johnny Stumbles, and maybe I'll try to call in for the first time, I hope. It's now 7 p.m. And oh yeah, congrats to the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm not a Blue Jays fan. I don't even watch baseball or follow it, but hopefully they go. Hopefully they do well in the playoffs. I hear they've been doing very very well. And the Maple Leafs begin their regular season in 10 days too. Anyway, guys, take care. Adios and bye bye.